They had always treated the apartment as their territory, and me as someone they could crush at will. That day, they decided to put this default authority out in the open. The moment the door opened, two faces blocked my view like an execution notice, their voices fast as if to strike first. They thought this time they could corner me, so they started with a harsh pronouncement. "You really think you own this place now, huh?" Megan spoke while using her elbow to push open the half-closed apartment door, rushing into the living room with the leftover chill in her movements. I heard the lock hit the wall and only then lifted my gaze from my laptop. The TV was paused on a blue screen, all background sound had been cut, leaving only the sound of their footsteps and the faint rustle of plastic raincoats. It had just stopped raining outside, and they carried that damp smell, a heaviness pressing against the chest. Ashley stood behind Megan, holding her briefcase by the strap, her fingers gripping the bag's opening as if ready to throw it onto the couch, but seeing me sitting there, she held back. She didn't speak, but her face was already set. Their expressions were like a copied template, the angle of their raised eyebrows identical. "I'm the owner?" I asked evenly. I closed my laptop and set my headphones on the desk. "Don't play innocent." Megan threw her backpack onto the carpet, standing with feet inward, blocking an exit like a human barrier. "You take over the living room, the TV, the couch every day. You're always here." Ashley followed up, like she had rehearsed it. "We come home after a full day of work and find you sprawled out doing nothing." She deliberately glanced at the remote next to me, as if it were proof of my crimes. I didn't respond to their accusations, I just looked at them. Their positions formed an amateurish two-person confrontation pattern. The front person attacks, the back person nods, smirks, and delivers secondary strikes. The air smelled of their damp clothes and mud from their shoes. I could imagine how they had probably rehearsed this all the way home. Every word was stiffer than the cold, wet air that had followed them. "I live here too," I said. "We're roommates, aren't we?" Megan snorted, like I had hit a nerve. "You live here? Then act like it," she said, raising her chin. "You take up the common space, but never do anything, never maintain the environment, never take responsibility." Ashley nodded. "You really think just paying rent allows you to occupy the living room all day? We don't even have a place to sit when we get home." I looked at the sofa. It was actually bought by me, but I didn't say it. Megan continued, "Let's make it clear. From today on, don't treat this place as your personal space." Their tone wasn't a discussion, it was a verdict. I said, "I'll go to my room." I stood, picked up my laptop, and walked past them. Megan moved slightly, stiffly, as if unwilling to give me even a small space. Ashley's eyes scanned over my shoulder with impatience and disdain. I wasn't about to explain anything, nor did I need to. Their attack wasn't about a single incident, it was about asserting a position. I closed the door behind me. Their footsteps continued in the living room, muffled voices clinging to the air like dampness. 10 minutes later, there was a knock. Before I could respond, the door handle turned. Megan stood in the doorway, not stepping in, deliberately keeping a boundary. "From now on," she said slowly, "don't touch anything that isn't yours. Understand?" The room was lit only by my bedside lamp, casting half her face in shadow. "What do you mean?" I asked. "The literal meaning," she said. She closed the door, the sound sharp and final. The doorframe rattled. Silence returned. From outside came their ongoing conversation, the clinking of cups on the kitchen counter, the opening of the fridge, their short laughs. I sat on my bed, staring at the door that had been pushed open, feeling no anger, only a long-accumulated fatigue. They never asked what I bought, always assuming everything in the apartment should just be there. I never insisted either, my sofa, my dining table, the appliances I replaced, the Wi-Fi in my name. But they chose to ignore it. I turned off my bedside lamp, plunging the room into darkness. Outside sounds persisted, but I no longer listened. This wasn't the first confrontation. From their "take sides" attitude, it wouldn't be the last. The next morning, as I was organizing materials, I heard the soft clinking of cups from the kitchen. Megan's voice was lighter than usual, clearly in a good mood. "Patricia will come to check the pipes later." I already told her about our situation. Ashley replied, "You really told her? Everything we said?" "Of course," Megan said, pulling out a chair. "I said you're anxious, I'm anxious. We both need a cooperative roommate, not someone who lies in the living room all day, does nothing, and causes conflict." She paused, her voice deliberately gentle, but unnerving. Patricia will understand immediately. Ashley chuckled quietly. She'll probably be swayed. That's just her personality. I sat in my room, listening as layers of sound overlapped. If I hadn't heard it myself, I might have thought they were merely complaining. But it wasn't complaints, it was narration. Planned, orderly, staged. They wanted to push me out. I closed my laptop, grabbed my keys, and left. They only stopped talking when they heard the door open, watching me pass by. Ashley's eyes checked if I was eavesdropping, Megan's expression unmasked. She even seemed pleased that what was bound to happen was moving forward. Morning, I said. They both responded, cold and impolite. That afternoon, Patricia called me, her voice gentle as if afraid to scare me. I just wanted to check, are you okay living there? I held the phone, walking to a bench outside. The wind was cool, and I felt a preordained force pressing toward me. I'm fine, I said. What's this about? She paused. Megan and Ashley mentioned you aren't cooperative with shared spaces. They said they tried communicating, and you weren't responsive. I smiled faintly, not from humor, but familiarity. Do you believe what they said? I asked. Patricia sighed. I don't favor either side. But if friction exists, maybe arrangements need adjusting. Her words were a conclusion. They want me out, don't they? I asked. No denial. No easing over it. They've lived there longer, from a management perspective, yes, they probably prefer to maintain stability. I looked at the parking lot, a row of silver car roofs reflecting sunlight. I wasn't surprised. None of this was sudden, it had accumulated. I understand, I said. I'll handle it. I hung up and sat for a long while. Wind rustled fallen leaves at my feet, kids skated across the street, glass bottles clinked in someone's shopping bag. I felt no shock, no panic. Only a long-lost clarity. This wasn't the first time. 3 months ago, the living room fluorescent light broke. They posted in the group chat, lights out, who fixes it? No one moved. I bought a new tube, got a ladder, finished in 10 minutes. Megan's first reaction wasn't thanks, but a frown, the light's a bit bright. Ask next time before buying. I stood on the ladder holding the old tube, suddenly unsure of my role. Housework and responsibility always defaulted to me. Appreciation never did. Once Ashley invited a friend for drinks. At midnight, the living room was a mess. The next morning, I went to work and saw beer bottles rolling, chips scattered. I asked Ashley to clean up. She said bluntly, we were exhausted. You look early rising, so why not tidy it? I silently picked up the trash, metal cans reflecting cold light. That moment, I realized, they had long seen me as the natural caretaker. Once Megan broke a soy sauce bottle in the kitchen. Seeing me, she said, watch your step, clean it up later, okay? I don't have time. I'd just come off work, holding takeout. They never truly asked me anything. Never acknowledged all I did. Only what they needed mattered. Now, they were pushing responsibility again, only this time it was the right to live there. I sat on the bench 20 minutes, letting the weight dissipate. I knew what I had to do. And I knew how. That evening, I returned. Megan and Ashley sat at the dining table with takeout and a planner full of notes. They exchanged a knowing glance when they saw me. Megan feigned concern. Did Patricia contact you? She did. I'll handle it, I said. Ashley raised her eyebrows. Oh? That quick? I ignored her and went to my room, closing the door. Outside, faint laughter. Contempt mixed with relief. They thought they had won. They never realized they had crossed a line that shouldn't be crossed. I wasn't incapable, I just didn't need to show it. Since they insisted, fine, let them see. The next morning, as they chatted in the kitchen, I was about to leave. Megan, wedding Friday, gone for 3 days. Finally can relax. Ashley, once she's gone, will redecorate the living room. They didn't notice me standing in the doorway, hearing everything. I picked up my keys. They only realized I was there then. Megan gave that familiar look. You leaving this weekend? I will, I said. A flicker of relief and victory crossed her face. She thought she'd succeeded. I closed the door, flipping an internal switch. This time, they would learn what "I'll handle it" really meant. The morning they left, dawn barely broken, the cool air lingering. Megan's perfume left a sharp trail. Ashley's pointed white heels clicked across the floor. We'll be back Monday night, Megan said at the door. If you want to move, you can handle your things over the weekend. Her tone feigned care, but concealed contempt. Ashley added, we hope the living room is clean when we return. I nodded. Safe travels. The door shut. Their suitcases rolling faded. I checked my phone, 9 a.m. At 9:15, my friend Jake's truck pulled in, ropes and a moving board in tow. Ready? He asked. Always, I said. We entered the apartment, still smelling faintly of their departure. Jake looked around. All this, yours? All of it. We started with the sofa I bought from Facebook Marketplace. Back then, moving it upstairs almost broke the stair railing. Now, Jake lifted it, slid it onto the dolly. They really enjoyed this sofa, he said. Now it's my turn, I replied. We moved the dining table, the appliances I bought, the coffee machine, toaster, microwave, blender, air fryer, even the hot water kettle I had replaced twice. Everything went into boxes and onto the truck. Bathroom, shower curtain, absorbent mat, storage rack, everything I had purchased. What remained were their few bottles of shampoo and a chipped comb. I removed the living room curtains I installed, rolled them up, packed them. Wi-Fi router came down too. The account was mine, auto-renewal mine. Jake shook his head at the now empty apartment. They're going to freak when they come back. They chose this, I said. I'm just executing. 3 hours later, the apartment was a shell. The living room echoed empty. Only their belongings remained, a slightly crooked floor lamp, a cheap TV from a friend, some scattered small items. I photographed each corner, each item removed, time-stamped and filed with receipts. I sent Patricia a message, these are all my purchases. I've taken everything. Here are the photos and receipts. I'll return the keys by 5 p.m. Within a minute, thanks for being so organized. You can come anytime. I finished the last tasks. TV wasn't mine, so I didn't touch it, but I logged out of all accounts, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney. Only the home screen remained. Jake asked, necessary? Absolutely, I said. By 2 p.m., the last box was on the truck. We stood at the door, the apartment empty except for their few small items. Jake muttered, this is harsher than I imagined. They chose this, I said. I just executed. I locked the door, put the key in my pocket. I moved my items to my new place, settled in, then went to Patricia at 4:30 p.m. She held a tablet. I handed over the key, she looked at the photos and me. All yours? Yes. She flipped to an empty living room photo. They said, you contributed nothing. I shrugged. I wanted them to feel what it's like without my contribution. Patricia hesitated, then, they'll be shocked when they return. Let the shock be bigger, I said. She smiled, if they can't find a new roommate, each owes $900 more. They can't afford that. They'll learn, I said. Monday night, my phone vibrated over 50 times. Unknown numbers, one after another. I knew who it was. Previews flashed. You stole our things? This is a crime. Who do you think you are? You must come back. We're calling the police. Explain yourself. We have nothing. How could you? From anger to panic, to near pleading. I didn't open any. No need. Patricia forwarded a screenshot. Megan, she emptied the apartment. Completely. You must fix this. Patricia, she provided proof of purchase. She only took what's hers. Ashley, but she can't do this. We don't even have a pot. Patricia, not her responsibility. Megan, we need new roommates, now. Patricia, you have 20 days, or you'll pay the rent yourselves. Their messages fragmented. Can't find anyone. No one wants to move in. This isn't our fault. Patricia, you'd better find someone soon. Then chaos. We can't manage. We can't pay. Do you want us to return? Please explain. Please tell us you'll come back. I stared at the screen, then set the phone down. They finally understood fear. Finally felt what it was like without me. 20 days later, Patricia sent the last message. They couldn't find anyone and can't cover your share. I've started procedures. Their faces were grim when they received the documents. I replied, thanks for letting me know. She said, now they realize how foolish their words were. I thought for a moment and said, everyone pays the price for their choices. This time, it's theirs. I closed my phone, opened the window. The wind blew gently, sunlight fell quietly on the wooden table. Everything I moved into my new home was properly in place. It belonged to me. Always had. And those who tried to push me out? They never even held their own ground.